Hi everyone, my name is Gwen and I just joined Podcasters Paradise a few weeks ago, but I've already learned a ton. Thank you, John and Kate. And I can't wait to get started on my new podcast, which will be called The Bold Blogger. I'll be interviewing creative bloggers such as myself about their blogging journeys, how they got started, what's worked and what hasn't, and a lot about the technical aspects, which might be a little foreign to more creative types. So I can't wait, and I wanted to share with you today how I set up my budget podcasting studio. I didn't have quite as much money to invest in it as I would have liked, but I did some research in the forums and online and came up with what I think will be a great alternative for getting started. So I have an Audio-Technica mic and a low budget Behringer mixer, and then I have it all set up in Skype and Adobe Audition, and I'll take you through that as well. So thanks so much for watching, and if you have any more advice or information for us newbies and are willing to share it, you know we're open to it. So let's get started. So here we are in my office, and I want to show you the equipment. So to the left, you'll see the Audio-Technica 2100 mic. I decided to go with that because I saw several posts in the forum where that mic was recommended as a great starter mic. So I thought that would be a good one. And then I have my mixer, which is the Behringer 302 USB Premium 5 input mixer. So I think I saw that, at least a Behringer mixer, somewhere in the forums that maybe Kate recommended. So that's what I decided to go. And then actually I found this one that has the USB audio interface, and that made it very, very simple. So let's come in a little bit and take a look at the mixer. So here I have the mic plugged into the mic input and the USB cord running from the mixer to my computer. But what is going to separate your tracks? Let's take a look at that. Here is my line, and so I have that pushed all the way to the left, and then this second line is where the Skype is going to come through the speakers, and I have that turned all the way to the right. There are a couple of other settings you can play with, and then of course the volumes as well. So that's all you have to do in terms of your mixer and your mic. So that is the setup, and let's take a look at the settings on the computer. There was one thing that I left out, so I wanted to show you that real quick before we move on to the settings in the computer. This red button needs to be pressed down, and then that's it. Okay, let's move on to the computer. So here we are in Skype and Adobe Audition, and you can see that I've got my mic working right now, and I am going in track 1 only. So that is, I'll get to that in just a second, but let's take a look at Skype, and I'm going to push Command, comma, and it'll bring up well, hey there! Bring up the settings for Skype. And we're going to go to Audio Video, and I'm going to choose my USB audio codec for the microphone as well as for the speakers, and I'm just leaving ringing on default. And that is it for Skype. So I'm going to close that down, and I'm going to come back to Adobe Audition. So I used John's video to get set up for a template. And when I set my template up, obviously I have my hardware configured already with my Audio-Technica mic. I come into track 1, which will be my track, and I set it to mono front left. And then in track 2, I go to the same setting, mono, but I'm going to select front right. And that separates the two tracks, and I'm recording my voice only on track 1, and the Skype line is coming in on track 2. We tested it, and it works great. So I'm very excited that I was able to create this budget situation here, and hopefully that will work for you if you have the same budget that I did. I ended up spending about $175, which is not too bad to get started. So I'm raring to go now. But again, if you have any more information, my husband has promised me that when I export this, it'll come back and it'll sound great. So, and it won't play one track on one side of your ear and the other. So we still have yet to test all of that, but I did get it set up and I wanted to share it with you. So, thanks again. Any advice is greatly appreciated, and I'll see you on the flip side.